May I attain this state of Buddhahood.
Bunzo Gelacho, one to go, Tayan to video, Malaysia, and Sibeto, Shaggy Jabo, the long creature, isn't Zongabicham, Nelu to be Sherameldan and Junction of Conjecture. Sibits our children with the Jirkandet of a Tagam page is soon as in Jere. Other also Kroa, Chinche, so the Danzi Mari Pachari, the Danzi Mari Bango Parchavala, and Tongi Tawa, and Tenjung with the Konani Matona, and Maripa Tagi Jesus Tartute, Katgua Mare, and in Indugala Mariba Magana, Sangi Kobanzendi, Mari, what a Tesungore, Ninjunta, and Takicha, Ninjunta Chanjuism. Ni Katsuji Kompachiba Yina, Shigi Zampu, Chebayabu, Chagre, De Yinayang, and Sangi Kopan to Mare, Sangi Kopan Tajo, any Nirang Tarbazam get to Tuya Kabashari, Indivala, Dindigi, Chip, one Tengi, Sangi Kopan, and it Tarbatan to Bachavala, Injimiji, Tendel, Teponang in the bag orders as Sungaris.
Great Lama Tsongkhapa, he says that if you do not possess wisdom realizing, wisdom necessity to realize the reality, then even having the understanding of renunciation or generation of renunciation, you won't be able to cut off the root of cyclic existence. Therefore, make an effort to have the understanding of dependent origination. So here, what he's saying is that the main cause of the cyclic existence is grasping to self or self-grasping. And in order to eliminate that self-grasping from its very root, we have to have the understanding of dependent origination, and dependent origination, or understanding of dependent arising. So it doesn't matter how much you have the knowledge, of the method side. Like great compassionate mind, wisdom realizing, and altruistic mind. If you don't possess the wisdom, then you won't be able to achieve enlightenment. Let alone enlightenment, one won't be able to achieve even the liberation of heroes and solitary realizers. So therefore, it is important to have a combined practice of method along with the wisdom realizing emptiness.
Tendi Nikala Hadi Mari Batla Jayadela, any Tawatra Wonki, Mari Bajadan de la Kipramabucha de Ores. The Indugala Chikmoni Sibitawa Tagetu Stani, Jindu Nigita, Tagetu the Tangan to the Tawing to the Mari Bajada. Anything Yajin. Hagi Tindi Chinani Monsamgi Maripa, Lindela Moa, Maripa Jatana. Any Ripengal the Midin Chawaste, any Tongi, any Tendelgi, Galda, any that to Badanzinde, Maripa Jata, or those chidi Tawatara only, Maripatana Tramapuyongore. They wangi Numun the Lantarajade, Umijuna Taratani Jagores.
So when we look at the ignorance or not knowing, this has a different levels based on the different school of thoughts, based on different philosophy. In a different interpretation of what is the root cause of cyclic existence, and some says six subtle and extensive delusions, or some says six root ignorance, and some school says simply not knowing, which refers to the lack of understanding of cause and effect, is the root cause of cyclic existence. And the still higher schools, some higher school says that that which is the opposite to the wisdom, or self-grasping. So different levels, or different types of what is ignorance, or not knowing.
Tongni siade, Tongbani siade la try. Si zamdana, John Mandata Pemambo, Chagore. Then Rembaji Sun in the Gala, Mita Dunga Tongwa Dame, Tongsuji Suntua. Ani Senzambe Kadula Zudun Samazing Tonga, Zuzun the Vijang singing to the Tonga, Yang Tongsuji Suntua. Ani Umarangube Chik Page Che Kandajina. Ani Zember to the Tonga, Rete, Inayang Tangitu, Ransing to be Tum de Kinji, Yang Tongsulji, Teletaj, Ji Tsungdua. Ta one Umatangue, Chetanga Tangitu, around Matuba, Ransing Matuba, Rajing Matuba, Tongsul, Tati, Tamoti Chadior. In Dugala, Kanji, Tendel Seagi, Sin Danayang, Tendelgi, Pagi, Guakaka. Tragi, qua, Ralugi Kepari Yore. Indigala, Muni, Tesukanga, Sebush, Katsutu Samnotan, Hago, the Kitchenbores. Then you can tendel de, Dijiki, young mother, Kabu Mare. That Tele Tra Karzana Tutuki. Pendel de Tel Tachadir. But that Tutu Sidigala Chade Chachin Chashida Chachin or the Shardan Loop Tindigi Chik Tutu Bonijayon Dugala, who Pagile Capchedan, and a Quaina Tarandugo, is he intended. But the Tigidi this ship Samrijitandu, Samatangi. Ota Pagi Maranzu Nanzu Najinji Mate, Kachakoa the taken in length of waters. The Samji Rangi Pagi Dugores.
Sansambe Hosan was Susan.
La
Sansambe.
Sansambe Zudu Samasing. Tonga, Zuzu the Vijang thing to the Thomas, Gora, Tonto de.
So likewise, we see a different interpretation of what is not knowing or ignorance based on the different philosophy of different schools, and we can also see different meaning for emptiness. Although the word emptiness is used, the same word is used in different school of thoughts, but the emptiness means different, has a different meaning to different schools, and there is a emptiness. Which is one of the empty, which is one of the Four Noble Truths. If you remember, the four characteristics of impermanence, suffering, empty, and selflessness. That empty has a different meaning, although the word empty is used. And also in the mind-only school, they use emptiness. If you remember from Tinit's class, the form and consciousness apprehending that form is lack of different entities or different substances. And middle way autonomy school, although phenomena lacked true existence, but phenomena exist at the level of self convention, mode of self conventional. I think I'm trying to remember the exact word that we used during the Tinit's class. Middle way consequence school, the highest school of thoughts. They say that lack of existence, even at the level of imputation or designation. Lack of self-sufficient, lack of independent existence. So all this, refers to the meaning dependent origination, and that dependent origination has a different meaning to a different school of thoughts. So therefore, it's kind of important to have the understanding of what is dependent origination or what is emptiness means to a different school of thoughts. And so when we talk about dependent origination, we talk about the dependent origination in relating to the cause and effect. So dependent origination based on cause and effect, refers to the composite phenomena only, not non-composite phenomena and other types of phenomena. And there's still kind of more subtler understanding of the dependent origination, and that is dependent origination based on part and the main body and its different parts. For example, dependent origination, kind of the existence of direction like east exists because of the west. Kind of depending on its different aspects. So, nangzu tar me badran ju be de ko song de.
Ta phagi rangyu bage ta phagi marang tu thanye tu yogu war. Thanye ne mena jashi go kan rangyu be na. Thanye tu ndogu war de kaje dembar me be tönde tuitu jil tene ji jagwaya. Chashil tene chajen jagwaya. Chajen tene chashil dago jagwaya. Shar tene nub jaya. Nub tene shar jaya mado shar thatu indege nub thatu indege ni ten zawani me so. Chada chajen tene tene ji jago war. Tendi indigala tendi gita phagi thanye ninkyang tayo zammayimba. Thanye tu phagi tadon jalna nigyu yobaji rangyu bilalan dogu war. Tendel kotende.
So, and as we said before, according to the middle way autonomy school, they say that if something exists, it should be findable under the analysis, and the way of existence of or the mode of existence of the phenomena, the main body and its part, or existence depending on different aspects. The example we said before is according to the middle way autonomous school, is there is no when we use the example of direction, there is no direction of east which is which exists by itself, which is totally independent, which is self-sufficient existence. The east only exists in relating to the other directions. When you have a west, then you can say based on the west there is an east. Based on other directions, all this direction exists. It's not self independently existing one phenomena.
어떤 딜이 타일에 당에 따도 또다좀 민경 따여정기 된데 딜이 타쳐야 돼요. 다디 하기 민따정기 자와 쭉툭네 자지 강같이 툭네 와다코 코랑원이 율원이 땐 자왕이니 좀 되긴지 늘 정하면 되긴지 대다 던지와 두모 많이 받아 다 중디게 공부 털도 다 두고 와래 민경 따여정기 된데
And still, more subtle or higher than that level of understanding, middle way consequence school's way of, interpretation of a dependent origination. Simply at the level of imputation. We discussed this during the Chinese school. Simply, at the level of imputation or designation, phenomena does function.
민따정기다 자와체 퉁네 자와체 퉁거래 자와체 거봐 율코랑원에 좀 되긴지 늘 점에면 되긴지 근데 다셔도 돼 차리가.
So the phenomena or things, they don't exist from their own side, or no independent existence, or no self-sufficiently existence of the phenomena. But still, all these phenomena, the way they exist is we simply imputate it, or we simply give the designation or labeling, and that labeling alone is enough for its function. So this is the most kind of highest level of understanding of independent origination. Or
Obama's American president was. Korangoni to be na Kezamini Koton the Kiwada American president Waller Dubu. Korangoni made Tatela Jini or do Jini means Tagu was. The Korangoni Madu Tares, president.
And to give kind of extremely rough example, or is we used this example before, becoming the president of the United States. So Obama, he is the president right now, but that presidentship does not exist from its own side, from his own kind of it's not self-sufficiently existing from the object side. If that is the case, he should be the president right from the time he was born, but that's not the case. The president, he became president through following, all the processes of voting, election, then using the name president and designation, and therefore, this becoming a president, or the existence of the president. And after taking kind of off and then following all these processes, then he can function as the president. Otherwise, he won't be able to do that if that presidentship exists from its own side, or the object side.
어때가 나진지는 아주 낭줄당 내줄때 백화가 자돼요. 낭줄라 율 간지나 율 코랑원에 뱉다가 초톱도 율 코랑원에 냄바와지 아주 능거르데 뭐에 내주지는 배율 코랑원에 찔리지 때네 아니 차실 때니 찾은다 찾는 때니 찾이다 샬 때는 누다 두스 찔리지데 유게 마보 찔리 때니 좀 되게 봐 윤 쿠랑원이 대야 민캬 따요 점지 임바다 내술도 때니 지내 되어야지 낭줄데 뺏다가 박니 수도 뺏다가 데모하지 탁고시 파질 랑 연대긴지 맞아 난거를 낭줄데 좀 맞은 거 찾아.
So the point here is, as we said before, there is a great contradiction between how things appears to us and what is the reality of the thing. There's a great contradiction, and the way things appear to us is that things exist independently, kind of solidly out there from its own side, self-sufficiently. But in reality, that is not the case. Things exist in relying upon each other. The main body and its different parts, and parts put together and form the object. And there are many different causes, factors, and conditions that made that object exist. And and as said before, they simply exist at the level of designation or labeling.
맞은 낭술데 원이 그랑원은 원이 낭술 나신지 뜻이야 있나? 맞아. 로 쳔마지 로 뜬뒤지기 제바제 인도가라 코 니에메다 가르쳐버려 그러면 메르타데 뚝 땡용 거래스 그랑은 뭐도다데 원장 마투나야 타니 두파 자야데 로츠미 자용해야데 타니도 유비다 타니도 유비다 타니도 자와간 같이 두니 뭐도 스제디가라 던담된 바싱디 로 네메기 바기 자쳐야지다. 군소 덴바스디가 로 출병mol라 바기 연대긴지 로에니베 마타빌로 mol라 연대긴지 어때 두스지니 링인 조는 거래.
How can we say that the way phenomena appear to us is simply appearance and not the reality? If you put that ways of existence under the analysis of valid cognitive mind, or another way of saying is meaningful mind or standard mind consciousness, when the standard meaningful or valid mind investigate, that kind of appearance doesn't exist. It's unfindable under that analysis. But as I said before, all the phenomena, although it exists at the level of imputation, but there does work, function, and so this is how we categorize, as we did before, the two, the true truth, the conventional and the ultimate truth, and the ultimate truth refers to the truth which exists only under the analysis of the valid mind or consciousness, and the conventional truth or phenomena are the phenomena that exist only under the conventional reality or conventional mind.
다 털도데 네 주에다 갔던다 님보다 가르잖아. 아주 낭출데 노르디어스. 아니 로수르 네베코네 사무다데 제바체나 아니 파기 코 민장 다여점 배나 신사승인데 파기 제 로디가라 타마 신생야라 초 점질래 신생 민다 점다가라마도 딜라 신사절 주도라야미도 어나데 주저디나 코 당보 파기 잘라 레리네 세로나 주저드라야미도 민코 파기 강가 초니 딜레 주저지 민다바이나 디코 주저기 자와치거래 미 다가는 강가 툭툭와 그 제바체는 나금이도 어떤 아주 낭술도 들리지 대삼지 대삼만이 봐 파기 추뚝는 코랑원이 연대지 난거 알아 단 낭술때 까고 와래 낭술때 까이나 이니 제니 민장 다여점 파기 리체라 선로 망바타 경고를 주송다 로니 로페 니수숨지 삼다는 이니 제기니 텐델데 텐진다완 주와 세디갈라 가레 동배 돈라 판도 두야. 동바스 디가라 민경 다해성이 덴덴 조트야. 딘디기 덴델 동배 돈라도 하다. 동바 덴델 돈라도 해야지. 와시라고 해서 송도. 이거는 되게 내가 때문에 여살에 된가도 세보제 하고 말에 그런 대접하기 더롱로 성인의 자원무치 숨그리 되게 뭐네 로 탐전이 지금 능력과 때 미스게 첨버렸어.
So the bottom line or the main point here is we need to refute the appearance that we have, and because that appearance, as said before, is wrong or mistaken, and because that way of appearance, phenomena existing independently, self-sufficiently, solidly, objectively, if put under analysis, won't be findable. The example we used before is chariot, and also just Geshe-la said, the table clock. It existed simply at the level of imputation or designation, and it functioned accordingly. And if you try to find out where is that chariot or where is this clock, and if you kind of separate all this each part of the clock, it is not findable. This the clock that we think is solidly existing is not there. It's simply a name given to the combination or gathering of all these different parts together, and this is what clock is. And this is what So in the engaging in the middle way path, Chantakriti says that simply that gathering of the different parts of the chariot is the chariot itself. You won't be able to find chariot other than all these parts together. That way of appearance that things exist independently, solidly, objectively, needs to be kind of refuted, negated from our mind, and and his holiness teaching, if you listen, he says that it takes takes a long time to understand, to have a good understanding of the way phenomena exist in reality, even 20-30 years, and after thinking, kind of contemplating, and spending enough time, and then later one will be able to understand the kind of interchangeable meaning between dependent origination and emptiness. So when you say dependent origination, what you are saying is actually the same meaning as the emptiness, and so when you say emptiness, you have an understanding that phenomena exist, depending on each other. So kind of interchangeable meaning between these two concept, dependent origination and emptiness. And although we won't be able to kind of explain in depth, but you can read books and listen to teachings, and especially kind of use your all kind of concentration to understand, to learn when His Holiness gives teaching about the same topic in May.
Nanita Kazangamandini, Zu Tomba, Tombanini Zuso, Sing Suda. He come to Talata Padi, Dini Mochi la Tobata de Imba. Any Mochi Maine Kyonsum, Tobata de Mani Kyonsum, in the Yore, Mechi in training me do Tamado, 마다 로망 보도사래 어디 두스치니 요래 어디도 경모름 정문에 세부순 거래 오늘 엄마 땡기고 다른 내가 다 띵뜨는 거야
So because listening carefully to His Holiness teaching has a great benefit, because what he teaches is based on reality and with a complete understanding of all different subjects of Buddhism, and also teaches out of great compassion, and therefore there's a great kind of benefit learning and listening from him. And so when we study this text, Heart Sutra, and especially the part where the text says, emptiness is form and form is emptiness, here comes the main philosophy of the middle way schools, the main thoughts or the essence of the middle way schools philosophy. Which is, it deals with the true truth, conventional and ultimate truth, and there are different ways of learning or understanding this true truth. That true truth has the same, nature but different entity, and this particular kind of section is important to understand. The main concept or philosophy of the middle way consequent schools.
But dina di sonda zusu nawane me ba wo shu sung ta zusu nawane me ba wo ngana so sikyo nangsul de sung wa ma zu ta zu kaniji na nga na utu gala halin yuen de gi demba wa ji chutu ji nangdo nangsul te yo mare nangsul taga na jinchi yo mare tagaram me ba te gi zu ja thure se to me pani zu su nawa wo taga rang me zu su nangsul te ni ji me na ya zu te thangi to ja thu wa thangi to ta su ja thu re me pani zu su nawa dika rang me pa ingi te me pale jendu chal ko pani mai no
shu ga zelo
shu gu sungge chuni ga te me jindu zu su nawa imbe tela zu lo su yo ba maimbe tono se te di sundwa tang nga zu nangsul tar tu majuba nangsul ki tar tu tongwa de tongsul de la nga yebe nani di thama ta nga zu thoil mi jaya de nangsul nga do ati na ji tongsul nga yebe o me tu na je me pa ne nga mane me be tongwa o se o me tu li chu 문에 내인자 고랑원이 요말 어저 주고 오마 간지 니제 오메 때는 좀에 바니 나네 메베 동아오 제트는 오마 메바니 지니 메베 동아오 도드르와 메베 사자나 봄바 메베 동아 신두 메베 동아오 발랑라 따메바니 지리 지시 메베 동아오 당아주 나주 망체지 이 삼당 거래. 그런 지지 나라 나주 동바스도 가라. 봄바답에 사자는 봄밤에 내게 땡리지 고고 와. 때 말했어. 다 타마데 가르잖아. 토요일 미투에 때체라 미메바는 원이기 동하고. 토요일 코랑 아주 미 풀려온도 가라. 토요일 코랑 원이 미원이 맞을게. 토요일 코랑 원이 아주 로 풀려온 게 난거 얼마도 토요일 코랑 원이 미원의 마주ken 와다 토일 미 동수데 다 단다 동이 덴죽 동수데 와다 동수 치마데 되게리스 순거 딩원이 베테 땅이 답하기 동수데 삼마땅 아니 지금 아주 동바니 시디가라 쇼나다 인자나 맞아 sombo 에마과 항 쇼나다 시디가라 동수데 오 파기 텐진 덴도 파기 원이 연되니 유로원을 좀 되는 동조대 삼당과다 대체 버려요. 근데 디체바이 나다 이 경고는 수도 핑계를 또 시라다 ngaran lo ile chagyo mi do keto la ta te yo mar ta tong di ti nenga che che te su sung go
ji deng lo thangkyur be dan su su na we na me ba odr ma lo be
da o su na wan me ba o se nang chul tab tu me re la go ma do zu me de su go para zu na wan me ba o se zu su ma che phagi zu na du la phagi ni ye ne ke yu khona wan su tu di ye ne ke ko go ra sung go ra tene ji yo ma re se so ti kwa de kaban lengor na kumbu ngabo rajing ki tumba na batao ho sikdo kumbu ngabo rajing tumba na batao sikdo gala gol do so ti kab dala ta zu suna zu tumba ho sikdo gala tandi zu tumba ho tele kwa ge kare zu suna wan me ba ho sikdo gala zu nang tu tagara kagi ni yul khorang ne ngaso nang tu de yul khorang ngone yo ba ji tu go arde yul khorang ne ni nang tu tena jinji yo mare sungwa tat tadi phumung amar rajing to man ba taw hosdi rajing ki tuba yo mare tadi phumung apo tina jinde zuwa phagi rajing ki tuba yo mare zu ola ngachal tandam khabar mo sujar masra ka shia de ko jichi le jar than ne tina jin tandam khabar jar ne ngachal tandam bi khabar de jar huwa
in the text, where it says, if you have this one, it's on page paragraph, third paragraph, the handout, the heart of the perfection of wisdom. So the third paragraph, in which it says, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Third paragraph, third sentence. Form is empty. Emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is not other than emptiness. Likewise, sensation, discrimination, conditioning, and awareness are empty. So, the emptiness, form is emptiness, and emptiness is form. The form, or the object that we see, when we see the things or object out there, the way the form appear to us, as said before, they independently exist, kind of sortedly, self-sufficiently. That way of appearance does not exist. It's empty of that way of appearance that we have, and that the meaning of the form, or the form that we have idea in our thought, is not other than that kind of reality. Generally, in the text here, the commentary says that when we say empty of emptiness or empty of something, there are kind of 5 different ways of emptiness. A different way of understanding of what empty, the meaning of the emptiness, and the most important, according to this school of thought, is the final one. So the other, in the text here, it says that when we say at the time of the at the time when you have a milk and it's not churned and made turn into yogurt, at that time you can say that I don't have yogurt, because what you have is that you have a milk, and the milk is not transformed or churned into a yogurt yet. So that is one way of kind of saying the yogurt is empty during the time of milk, because yogurt simply don't exist at that time. And the another way of saying is that when the milk is churned and already turned into yogurt, at the yogurt time the milk doesn't exist. It is already transformed into a different entity. And the another way of meaning of emptiness is if you don't see the form and shape of the part or waste, which we have when we say part or waste, we have a image in our mind. This is part and this is waste. And if you don't have that same kind of object out there, you won't say that there is a part or waste exists there. Because that part with kind of round body with opening, the part doesn't, if you don't see the part there, you say that part doesn't exist there. And that's another way of saying that. If the easier way of saying is that if things doesn't present in front of yourself, you will say that it doesn't exist in front of my eye. Simply it is not there. And the different ways of kind of not existing or empty, because the most common understanding that we have when we have understanding that part or waste is not exist or not present, the common understanding we have is that the part doesn't exist in front of you. Therefore, you come to the conclusion that it doesn't exist here, or I don't see it. But that is not enough to come to the conclusion that phenomena doesn't exist. And another way of using emptiness, or it says that use the two animal, horse and cow. When you say horse, although you are saying a horse or horse, but the horse, simply saying horse, you're also kind of indirectly or in a hidden way saying that the cow doesn't exist. It kind of so when you impose the existence of one thing, at the same time you are kind of saying that this object is not any other than what it is. But the most important understanding here is the mistaken understanding of scarecrow that we made in the field, confusing that into a real human being. So that kind of confusion is the toil mi tu che tel mi mun ngoni ge dong bao de
da ngoni ge dong da toil khorang ngoni mi mo le khorang ngoni mi tu yo ma lo mi ma tu yin da to ku ti mi dong wa de da di dang da na nga zu dong ba ni sing ga ji ga cha pa gi den bao ji bu ge ni nang dong du ding da ne ji de su da ti wa ti ge ni ne na pa gi ga ji wa ni ga ji dong wa de se de wa len tu de su.
So the last example is the last example of confusing scarecrow with the real human is the sort of closest example that we can use to have the understanding of emptiness, that phenomena doesn't exist from its own side. Because when we, the scarecrow that, the scarecrow that you see from the distance, although, it appears like a human being, it is not a human being because the only reason is, it is not. When you go, too near to it, although it appears like a human being, but it is not, So, not human being is, exist on the object itself rather than in your mind. The object itself kind of clarifies or tells you that just simply it's a scarecrow, it's not human.
Oda ti samdade ngachu nangchulde lap jipathuana any gacha dembawate katugure sungware tongchul tingi chi pare ne chi pare.
So using this understanding, if you use to our common appearance of phenomena, then we can seize that mistaken concept, that phenomena doesn't, although it exists independently, but that is not the real identity, real nature of the phenomena. It simply doesn't, exist on that. It's not the nature or the quality of the phenomena, just like the scarecrow.
Oda ti kani ta ngone phagi maranjo le jinchul najinji maso khare ji nangna yu khorang woni phagi chutup zole 대양 두바 자만이 봐 chutup khorang woni you can sula mateba ni jawa sula matebaji 맞은 jin기도 와 아까 때만진지 요 말이지 야니 고 차대 차실을 때문에 본다 때나 파마이나 부면나 파마 자식 말아 다만 맞아 덴들 하기 위긴 덴들이나 사분을 때니 아니 누구자고라 누구데 누구면나 사분 매고 어디요 말데 이나양 누구를 때니 사분 자고라 사분을 때니 누구 자고라 그 매네면 좀 되와다 파 디부디 율레 매네면 좀 되와다 두고 말데 디부디 율레 때 유메나 디부 매고 와데 디부디 매나 유디 매고야 말에 요 말에 매네 파 매네면 좀 되와 두고 말데 이나 찌레 찌 때니 자고다 되두 고아다 미지베 삼로지다 루세 이니 낭줄디지 삼로당 루스제나 이니 낭줄다지 민두 삼삼지 로레 차례 차르로 루스제는 삼로페 망보 땅과데 개첨보리
So as said before, we need to refute or negate the appearance that we have of the existence of phenomena or things or object out there that they don't exist, although it appears kind of independently, self-sufficiently, objectively, by its own, but that is not the case. They exist by relying upon cause and conditions and factors and its different parts. So parts, and it's like parents and children's relationship. Somebody is parent because of the children. If there's no children, one won't be called parent. So and also cause and effect. The existence of the seed and the sprout. The sprout exists because of the seed. If there is no seed, the sprout won't exist, because sprout is the result of the seed. So although we are not saying that if there is no sprout, there is no seed, but the understanding of the interdependency is important, and through that concept we can understand that without one thing, another thing won't come into existence. So these are the things that it's important to contemplate, reflect upon.
Din ta ti ngonero ngaso dekar kang charla ti chil dekar kang charla fe koni ugonna so jete tenju tombe tondo charwana rap se sumba ta ti dekar rajine michi gi gyago ge chil ko ni ko gyago cha gore zumu ge chil ko yonde michi de zumu che ko ne zumu cha gore 아자르 제 건이 온데 갈고 미지리데 이지리데 이 아자르에 차고래 장배 제 건이 온데 갈고 장고 차고래 둔도 샘징이 체지 건이 온데 고두도 샘징 이 차고라 그런 원이 맹인데 세부 딘 땡기도 어다 도스제네 간지 이 간데지나 너가 딘디기 삼다나 코 똥줄들라 팽기여나 때 디고다 도스제네 가서 나랑도 낭줄다도 마두가 이 낭줄다도 똥와 로 차려야기 다시 제고래 이때 미즘 펜다고 그래.
The another example is, if you watch, some performance on the stage, and if the same person is kind of coming again and again with different costume, that same person is the same person, but he comes in the form of king, or maybe animal, or maybe kind of a spiritual practitioner with that costume, and based on that costume we say that, oh, there's another person, but in reality this is the same person who is coming in a different kind of costume. So that you can apply this understanding here, that because whatever whoever he is not kind of from its own side. It's simply kind of depend or on factors and conditions that created that person into kind of turn into different forms.
어때서 사는다데 랑 광원의 마투바 라지기 마투바 랑생기 마투바 랑군 둘루군의 마투바 어때 tenirlo 왔다고 둘루군의 똥와 어때 티수 와 렌투고 와스 tenirlo 담리고 와스.
So using this kind of example, you can help yourself to understand the different vocabularies that we used before: lack of self-existence, lack of independent existence, lack of self-sufficiently existence, lack of inherent existence. So try to kind of have an understanding of this concept using these different the examples.
원다 단다가 주 동바니 주스제데 주디 친시 지자고에 가르잖아. 주기 풍보된 와서 공부 슈체야. 풍부 라마지데 마지 시비 찾다 차디어라. 딘디가라 디 인제는다. 대다로 주기 풍보라 동술 무슨 잘네스. 뭐 풍부 라마지라 디진도 서로와던 제소 잠도 숭괴바니 풍부 ngamma 풍부 ngala zugi 풍부니 zu인지 대양 센단 네 타부 다 ngala zugi 풍부 단다 미다 zugi 풍부된 지나 네 풍부 잠바된 텐사메 차로와 주 풍부 서로 풍부 두시고 나버시 풍부 지가 아니 주부는 텐데 되더라 텐데 만네데 디즈르치네 풍부 치마지니 시바 조치진 텔라네 템베수도 임베 텔터 텐네 지네 텔라 템베수장 지바진도 주기 풍부 동화도나 주기 풍부데 라싱이 마포 또바 란상이 마토바 나츠도 마토바 또야라 레라요 또나 딜레 템베세 셈기 풍부양 동바또 라고에서오시 에네 두스치네 주풍 데마르메 보바 코랑은 마토바지 또기나 ene sorwatan dushe na parashabateso ji gacha kheyala lela chaga injugala tambo rapa de mulle te mare se songa ota tuschini kobate yore se sungwa.
So in the root text, when you see form is empty, emptiness is form, why form is used, or the aggregate is used, is the text says that because unlike four other aggregates, the five aggregates being, the first is aggregated form, second feeling, third perception, fourth compositional factors, and fifth consciousness. Because for us it is most easiest to understand whatever something is related with this aggregate, with this body, and because body or aggregate also serve as the basis, or it is like a utensils for the the other remaining aggregates. So and the other remaining aggregates kind of it's dependent upon this aggregate or this form. So if this form, which is the basis or foundation, get kind of disintegrate or destroy, the others will also sort of destroy. So it is really kind of the reason why the form is used is to it's kind of easier to understand emptiness in relating or pertaining to the form. So when you understand the emptiness related to the form, this will help you to understand the emptiness of the remaining four aggregates. The emptiness of feeling, perception, compositional factors, and consciousness.
Dimayimba kobachi yangyur zu tombazi kobachi garzna susikyo to zu la chati korwa korwa is mone rongara zu ji ari chabachi zu del chagor mata jin chasami do e chane ni leng basa ni korwa korwa dingo bishidu zu tomba wo songre.
And the another reason is because the form or the aggregate or the body is the one that ordinary people like us get attached to. So therefore, out of the we attach to form or aggregate, and therefore that leads to kind of generating negative emotions or thoughts, and then falling into the cycle of a samsara recycle. So this is kind of side reason why our form is used as the understanding of the emptiness. So when you look at your own body, although this body was the result of our parents regenerative fluid or sperm or ovum, and this is actually what that is. But as we grow up, so because of the sort of quite long period of time that we we are used or familiarity with this body, we have a feeling that this body is mine, although it is not yours. And so because of that, there's a strong attachment. All those negative thoughts that generated from this kind of grasping to the self of this body, and from that grasping, mind, my body, it leads to all different other sorts of emotional thoughts and problems. And likewise, same with the other body that you are attached to. So if you understand this very kind of first beginning of the process of this will have a greatly positive influence of other kind of aggregates or form that causes us the suffering. Is that my cell phone? It's not ringing.
Eventually break that cell phone.
아직 가라인 룸 아주 또 전에 또서 거기 자신 슈추무 당투나 또 킨다고 그래요. 아니 소소 두 자신 지점 슈추 당투리 딜레파테 동알데 충두고 봐. 동알 중 지점 들어서리 semgidikina visordevaina chirundoimba mimi wasn't it.
So what is important here is that the lesser the level of attachment we have for this body and the aggregate, the more the less suffering we will have relating to this. So through that way, we can promote the other side of the emotional feeling of happiness or peace or more so that way we can benefit ourselves.
동반이 주소 세 고바 가려요 지도가라 댕가지 동발라 차네 지탈롱에 고체도 동반이 주소 제 담바인데 다 그래 다 녀나다 보이나 지회 탈롱도 와 보다 디 지타 때는 고체라 아니 동반이 주소 제 총레스 가지 주 동반이 주소도 시타데 지타 니가 까니 아니 람 우마지 땡제니 상기 고방라 이제 탑세트 되는 거야지 페난디니 주마 페나 사초나 처마요나 람토피 람촌토부 나도 미 메바진로나 당아서 스키오는 원에 미메겐 좀 차대와 밀den지기 처마 요도 제나 담돈로 롱년 체진 담로 요도 제나 설명 롱년 요베 타니 밀로의 체도 우밀람템비 딜타보스티 송도아다디 딩아랑 오네 시타 지와니 에네베 시파 크로베나람 말로와 지와 냥데라 말로 체베 냥데 와다티라 말로와 제네 파기 동이 또벨로 가자 가서래 할리 때님 제말 마두 시티가 때님 때문에 고와 때네 마화지 야 할리 유엔데게 메안 로타니 아니페 지 맨데게 지는 로타니 시부레제네 때네 마인바 아니 다다다 체다니까 가니 람키마데 땡 타와키마데 땡고가 대충가 했어.
This is the part also, the word here, form is emptiness, and emptiness is form. So why, emptiness is form? As mentioned here, there's also a reason for that. Because there are some, kashigela suluko kashi because there are some ordinary beings who have no who doesn't have a proper understanding of emptiness. They kind of attach. Sometimes they have a strong attachment towards the emptiness itself, just by emptiness itself, and therefore they fall into kind of the extreme of another extreme. So for that reason, the text says emptiness is form. Not just emptiness is emptiness itself. So saying emptiness is form is emptiness is emptiness is form is it's a kind of another way of maintaining or bringing practitioners into the middle path. So the example here says that if there's a very narrow pathway and the blind person is walking in that pathway, and if on the one side there is a thorn and if on the other side there's another muddy kind of so mud, so somebody's walking in between, and if you kind of warn to that person, don't come too close to your right side, there's a thorn, so the person will try to walk to the other side, and if you warn that don't try come too close to the left, there's a mud, so try to maintain walk in the middle. So that's kind of same approach used here. So basically try to try to avoid falling into true extremes of nihilism and eternalism. So we'll take a break.